Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video. Now guys, let's take a look at the gold market, and the gold market situation develops a bit different compared to what we have discussed yesterday, but at the same time nothing drastic has happened yet. So we see that the retracement up has become a bit greater due to the data from the United States and industrial production that was a bit worse than expected, and market has shown a great reaction to the upside. And at the first glance it seems on the daily chart that we have some contradiction between patterns. First of all, recall what we have said, that in fact this action is the weekly bearish stop grabber that suggests the taking out of these lows. But here, as the reaction has become greater, we could see that this could become, at least this looks like the bullish dynamic pressure, because you could see that trend has shifted bearish, but the action stands to the upside. And normally, when the really bullish dynamic pressure is forming, market usually accelerates and taking out of these tops. That's the direct menace for bearish grabber that we have on the weekly chart. At the same time, right now, market is forming something that looks like another bearish stop grabber. Okay, that's not the grabbers that we would like to trade, but still, this is the bearish grabber that will suggest, if it will be formed, of course, if it will be confirmed, it will suggest the taking out of these lows. My opinion, guys, is that here usually the dynamic pressure appears on some shifts in the sentiment, and the data on industrial production, with all respect to this data, it will be probably not sufficient to change the situation drastically. That's why I think that this is just a short-term reaction. Although it looks like the bullish dynamic pressure, personally, guys, I would not treat it as the bullish signal right now. And maybe it makes sense to use it just to get the better place, the better point for taking the short position based on the weekly chart, because on the weekly chart the bearish grabber looks really much better than this the bullish dynamic pressure on the daily chart, and it's more reliable. That's why I think, as we said yesterday, we could stay on the same point, that any upward retracement that will be significant, we should use and could use for taking the short position. That's my opinion. Besides, right now gold has reached the level that we have discussed yesterday, and we said maybe gold even will reach the 618 resistance of this move down. That really has happened. So take a look at the 4-hour time frame chart. On the 4-hour time frame chart, guys, by the way, market has not reached the ABCD target. It has not been completed, this pattern, and it's turned to the upward retracement. That's another worrying moment in this downward development. Maybe, of course, we could get some shifting to the greater ABCD. For example, this could become this ABCD, especially if market will move slightly higher. That's really could happen. On the hourly time frame chart, we see some reasons for that. So take a look what is going on right now on the hourly chart. That is recent retracement up. Market here has reached the significant resistance 1208, the 618 resistance fib level, accompanied by the weekly pivot point. Okay, but at the same time you can see, yes, market is forming here the bearish grabbers that suggest some downward action, but that's not really important. The most important is that we have in progress this A, B, C bottom 1618 target 1212 area, and in fact market could show some breakout for this level to reach this target first, and after that it could turn to the downward action. So I think that that could become the perfect area where we could think about taking short position based on the weekly chart, based on the weekly for joining the weekly pattern, weekly bearish grabber, because hardly it will be we will get any better opportunity for taking the short position, because this will be really close to the previous top. keep in mind, guys, that this is the weekly pattern. The stop is just approximately $12 per contract. Is really small for the trading on the weekly patterns. You could adjust your trading position correspondingly to make possible the carrying of this possible stop loss order. Because if market will move higher above this area, there will be no explanation for that from the technical point of view, because here, guys, we have the thrust down, we have the bearish pattern in place on the weekly chart. Yes, we could assume, we could allow to get some retracement up, but the edge and the final point of this retracement is right here. And we could explain from the technical normal market mechanics, yes, thrust up was really fast. Here you can see that the data has been released and market has shown fast action. In this case, probably we really could get the 1618 target extension, because also market has passed already for the 100% extension. That's normal. But we will not be able to explain from the normal bearish behavior, from the normal development of the bearish trend, any action above this area. That's why it means that if market will exceed this level, that will be the hint on the possible taking out of this top, and the possible scenario that here the situation could change significantly. The market will accelerate higher, trend will shift bullish again, and that will be significant hazard for the weekly pattern. That's why, although our invalidation point stands above this area, but here, guys, probably we will get all in place. We will get all information that we need to clearly understand what is going on. Also, we can't exclude that market really could turn down even from this area and will not any ride to this 1618 extension, because here probably stands the 127. It's also possible, besides this significant resistance. Anyway, that's scenario where that's suitable for possessing on bearish grabber on the weekly chart, mostly because it stands very close to the final invalidation point of this pattern. From the weekly time frame chart, the 10-12 bucks, it's just nothing. Well, that's all, guys. All comments for the gold market here. So let's see how market will develop. Currently, it seems that market has chances to turn down either from here or after the hitting of the 1618 target.